Hey, so today I want to talk about the trigger press. When we look at the firearms and what's going to deviate your round from your point of aim to point of impact, there's only two moving parts on this gun that really make the gun move around. External. So that's going to be my trigger, and that's going to be the slide. And once the slide starts moving, guess what? Your round's already gone. So what's that leave? It leaves the trigger press. And that's where I get into, you'll hear a lot of either pull the trigger, squeeze the trigger, or press the trigger. I'm a big advocate of, press the trigger, because each one of these words mean three different things. If you hear the word pull, when I hear the word pull, that almost signifies of me doing an aggressive action. It's pulling the trigger. So if I'm here and I start pulling, my muzzle already starts to dip, so I start dropping my rounds. Now, if I hear the word squeeze, squeeze to me means I need to take every muscle in my hand and constrict those muscles to make this one finger squeeze that trigger. So inherently I'm here, and as I start squeezing, you can already see my muzzle deviating to my left. So take it to the next word of press. If I'm going to press the trigger, that means I'm isolating this one finger, and a lot of it is trigger or finger placement on the trigger. Right in the middle of the swirls should be centered right on the center or the middle of the trigger. Now, as I come out and I start pressing that trigger, and as I press, I reach that wall, I'm going to continue that same steady press as I go through. And if you notice, there's no deviation of my barrel. I kind of make a contest with it, especially during my dry fires. I dry fire probably about 2 to 3 times a week. And my dry fires, as I come out, it's just a contest of how steady I can keep my muzzle and press that trigger with no deviation of it. And I had a little deviation right there. So just go back through it. You know what? There's people out there that just crush that trigger. There's people out there with a little more finesse. I don't care what you have. If it's working for you, that's awesome. But what you do need to understand is this is the only moving part on the gun that's going to deviate your round off of that target from your point of aim, point of impact. So as you're coming out, if your grip's good, everything's fine. Now all you have to do is just steadily press that trigger to the rear. So Jason Paletta, Pillar Training.